Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing the daily reading for Friday, June 4th, 2021. And today's a day that's ruled by the solar plexus chakra and guided by intelligence. And the galactic signature of today is the yellow electric human energy. And so this yellow human tribe, they are the wisdom keepers. This is an energy that works with free will, wisdom, and the power of influence. And so with the yellow human tribe, we're looking at and understanding our free will choices and how those help us to develop and garner wisdom. And then how it is that we can share that wisdom and we can utilize that wisdom in order to influence the collective, in order to share that with others so that they may perhaps benefit from our experience. This is an energy that really knows and understands that we are all connected, and every choice that we make, everything that we say, everything that we do affects the entire collective as a whole. And therefore, it's an energy that encourages us to be intentional with our words, with our actions, with our thoughts, right? Because those are affecting our reality and the collective reality. And to really internalize and utilize and put into practice the wisdom that we gain as we go through this life experience. The electric tone is all about service. And so we're looking today at how can I allow my wisdom to be of service to the collective? How can I be of service to someone in my life by sharing my wisdom? And of course, we want to share wisdom with those who ask or those who are receptive. We don't want to just run around sharing our wisdom with anyone that will listen, regardless of whether they're open to hearing what we have to say. We want to use a little bit of discretion and discernment where that goes. But where we get the opportunities to share our wisdom today, it can be a beautiful service to the world to do that. And this is just that understanding of how special this human journey is, right? Free will is one of those things that makes this really interesting. We come in here with sort of a blueprint and a map, if you will, of what our soul would like to experience and accomplish, the wisdom that it would like to gain in this lifetime, the virtues that it would like to gain, the things it would like to experience. But we have free will choices, and so we really determine how we go about that course and what that looks like for us. We get to choose. We are an active participant in this process. Nothing is simply destined and fated and like this is the way it is no matter what. Like we have options. And is there an overriding sense of destiny and fate? I think so. But we also get to choose our own fate. What it's reminded me of is, I don't know if you guys ever read those books when you were younger, but they had those books where it was called Choose Your Own Adventure book. And so you'd read a story and every so often it would come to a choice point. And then you would have a few different options of what you wanted to choose to do. And it would say, turn to page 72 if you choose this. Turn to page 85 if you choose this. Turn to page 114 if you choose this. And it was really fun because it was like you were guiding your own experience of the book. However, at the same time, the book was already written. And the different options and the different ways it would play out were already written. And so it's like that's sort of the paradox here when we talk about free will, I think. But it's really fun and it's really empowering to know that we do have that choice. We have the option. What do I want to experience? How long do I want to experience this, right? That's when we employ the wisdom. We can learn the lesson over and over again, but until we apply the wisdom of that lesson through our actions, we're going to continue to learn that lesson until it's fully internalized and we've accepted it, and then we've shifted our actions and our choices accordingly. And there are plenty of people along the way who've gone through similar experiences who can be there to lend their experience with their own succession of free will choices. So the affirmations for today are: I activate in order to influence, bonding wisdom. I seal the process of free will with the electric tone of service. I am guided by the power of intelligence. And we also know that it's a great service to humanity when we begin making free will choices that are out of love, that are out of compassion, that are out of service and respect for the whole. When we begin making those free will choices, it's an incredible service and we have an incredible impact. When we make the free will choice to heal, when we make the free will choice to look and contemplate and get in touch with our shadow, to fall deeper in love with ourselves, all of these things, all of these free will choices are such an incredible service to the entirety of humanity. The secondary affirmation is, I am Ebb Human. I am your free will. I give you the wealth of going your own way. And the day says, yellow human days provide an opportunity for us all to be channels. As human beings, we are vessels and we can choose to allow spirit to fill our vessels with wisdom. What we do with this wisdom, however, is up to us, and that is why free will is a key phrase associated with yellow human. We all have within us the potential to develop our intuition. We've simply forgotten that it twists. Today, if you need an answer, try to receive it intuitively. Human beings are the connection between heaven and earth. Allow yourself to become the vessel and channel messages from the soul that connect us to heaven. And the power of the yellow human energy is the power of choice. Choice is an achievement of wisdom, but it also brings the burden of responsibility. Yellow humans are tough like dried grass and strong as a tooth. They are not easily defeated. They have the wisdom and the free will to influence their circumstances. Yellow humans tell us about free will and free choice. Make your choice wisely. Allow freedom and space for every living creature to be themselves on this beautiful earth, including yourself. And the guidance is to focus on choosing to be fueled with higher expansive wisdom. Awaken the abilities of your human form by guiding your free will with self-love. Enjoy your humanness. Honor your fellow human journeyers by extending wisdom. And we are, of course, going to read from the Astro Dream Advisor as well. And so Astro Dream Advisor says, yellow human is the grail, the golden fleece, the philosopher's stone, the alchemical transmutation that turns baser materials into gold. It is the cornucopia, the paradox of emptiness and harvest, the still place that lies open and fallow, receiving the gifts. Yellow human offers you the gift of beginner's mind in the fullness of union. Be receptive. Yellow human is preparing your circuits for transformation. Become empty, that your thirst may be quenched by the bounteous gifts poured from the chalice of the spiraling galaxies. God, I love how poetic this is. Open and receive all that yellow human offers in the chalice of your own body. Ebb asks you to strengthen and clear your physical vessel in order to prepare for the expanded energies of higher mind. And we do have that eclipse coming up on the 10th and that 6/6 portal coming up just before that. With this quickening, adjustments are made and your circuits of consciousness are naturally transformed. Often this process is accompanied by the sensation of being altered or rewired. Higher centers of the brain and the light-sensitive pineal and pituitary glands are being activated to contain more light. This penetration brings you to a critical threshold, creating enormous change at the cellular level. It also activates soul memories and expands your concepts of reality. With this expanded consciousness, your brain-body system is being cleared and fine-tuned so that you can create a sluiceway for the activation and acceleration of cosmic consciousness. This penetration of frequencies and its accompanying quickening is like upgrading the hard drive of your biocomputer and activating the hidden chip, the unused parts of your brain, and dare I say DNA. This is the foundation and awakening of your light body, a body crafted from the expansion of interstellar light within every cell. This body exists in and out of time and space and is able to experience and communicate freely with other dimensions and times. This is the resonant body within those whom Jose Arguelles calls servant warriors. Those humans who fully realize the dream light body within the physical body and understand the circuitry of the human organism, who use the light body to navigate the electromagnetic waters, which we call the universe. The development of the light body involves strong interaction between spirit and self as you prepare for entrance into the expanded chalice of essence self. In preparing this vessel, you enter into the rites of passage inherent to cosmic consciousness, and such rites eventually burst any false containers of self that cannot encompass the expanding chalice. In meditation, expand to include all that you are. Then bring that feeling of expansion back into your physical self. In this process, you create a complex stability, opening a chalice of self that is fully rooted in human form. With this expansion, you are freed to explore within a new center that, paradoxically, seems to have to center. or seems to have no center is what I feel like that wanted to say. They have typos sometimes. Yellow human reveals the secret of being essence within form, everywhere and nowhere, nothing but present in all things. The metaphor of the ever-expanding chalice is a powerful spiritual tool. This chalice represents the eternal container of light, ever filled with spirit's fire and nourishment. It is the metaphor that represents the form in which your full potential can manifest. Each stage in your journey feels like the final one, but each stage then opens to an expanded form, right? It's all about every ending is a beginning, releasing you into the next stage of consciousness. All the gifts of the macrocosm pour out of the universal cornucopia. With an open heart, empty yourself to be filled with the fruits of your true desire. Through the temple of your body, lift the chalice of your expanded self and declare that it is filled with truth and clarity. Feel the ecstatic union with your full potential as a human being. Meditate on the cornucopia with you at its center. Lift the chalice of your self-generated energy vortex to greet the vortex that will descend from above. As an open vessel, prepare a place to receive yellow human's gifts. When you flow in unconditional love, all the fruits of the universe rush towards you for benediction. Bathe in love's essence as a child splashing in a pool on a hot day. Connect with others in joyous union. Use the broom of yellow human to sweep your day clear of past experiences and the issues and obstacles of small mind. In the spirit of yellow human, function on all frequencies and power bands. Your cup is filled with the nectar of sacramental union. Be fulfilled by the great harvest of love. And the tone 3 that we're working with today is the electric tone. And this is about movement, change, flow, current, creativity, integration, and the sacred trinity. 3 is the ray of rhythm, the galactic heartbeat of natural flow. This universal river offers you movement and all possibilities flow within its pulse. Open yourself to its current of change. The electric tone of 3 suggests that there is something you desire to change or integrate into the natural flow of your life. Become the third point of light created from the integration of polarity. Feel the pulse of the sacred trinity within you, revealing a new creation. Ooh, and I like that, right? We talk about how we're moving out of polarity and duality consciousness, right? And so 3 is the union of polarity, the two energies that create the third. We talk about that a lot. I never looked at it in terms of that, but it is the dissolution by unification of the polarities. So that's really fascinating. Allow it to integrate that which has been seemingly lost, separated, or obscured from your sight. If you have a tendency to be scattered in your creativity, make an extra effort to focus your energy. Align with your intention to express the truth. Now is the time for the great mystery to reveal itself through you. Know yourself as the capstone of light. Allow your creativity to express your spiritual journey. That's so beautiful. And then for the astrology for today, we have the moon in conjunction with Chiron, once again in Aries. The moon moves quick, and so she goes through and makes conjunctions and talks to all of these planets pretty frequently. I feel like we just had the moon conjunct Chiron like yesterday, but it must have been about almost a month ago. So yes, here we are, and we know this energy, it's especially in the sign of Aries, is a bit of an intense energy. And so we may be feeling that emotional intensity today. We want to take care to keep our emotions in check as far as the way we express them outwardly to other people. Because there is that reactive, emotionally reactive kind of element when we have this moon conjunct Chiron. However, we have some really beautiful energies that are sort of melding with this and supporting this. We have a bisextile with the sun, the moon, and Chiron and Saturn. And so this is really where we're taking, right, because Chiron represents our deepest wounds. It represents our healing process, our growth, our purification. And so when we're in this harmonious conversation with the sun and Saturn, this is really bringing and integrating that into the consciousness in a way that really vibes with this yellow human tribe, because it's integrating that wisdom, integrating those lessons, integrating everything that we've learned. And so it's much more so for many people. I'm feeling this, I keep saying the word integration, but that's what it is, as like a deep integration point for us. As we're pulling in that emotional healing that we've done, it's feeling very much like deep emotional healing, right? And this is in the sign of Aries. And so this is healing around our empowerment, around our our ability to be our own person, to make our own choices in the world, our free will choices, right? Which is absolutely perfect. And so we're moving that energy. Remember, Aries is ruled by Mars. So it's very much that kind of energy. So there's that healing and that integration around that as we really understand how to move forward emotionally is what I feel like a lot of this energy has to do with today. But there is that possibility that we may slip into old emotional patterns as well related to our wounding. And so just to be aware of that and to notice that if it's happening and to kind of take a step back, take a breath out, take a breath in, take a breath out, kind of like we talk about all the time, like they're always reminding us to do, and just really think things through and ask yourself, why is this coming up within me right now? Right? What is this teaching me? Because it's a big day about that wisdom, right? What is this teaching me? What is the lesson? What am I learning? And how can I incorporate that then in a plan to move forward? And then we also have today we do have that Mars opposing Pluto, both being squared by Eris, right? That T-square going on. And so that's definitely, it's that power energy again. It's those power plays, those power struggles, but also that opportunity for us to really step into our own empowerment. And we have Mars trining Neptune and Venus trining Jupiter today. So these are some really beautiful, beneficial, harmonious energies that we're working with. And so overall, I'm going to say that today feels like a pretty positive day. It may be emotional at times. It may be very emotionally charged, let's say. But I feel like there's a lot that we're going to be learning, and we're going to be noticing how we've grown. There's going to be a big energy of that, of noticing how we've grown, noticing how we're reacting differently in situations. Even if it's something like, I realize that now I take that moment to breathe before I speak or before I act. Even if that's what it is. We're beginning to notice those things more and appreciate those things more. And we do have Mercury. They're 9 degrees apart right now, but slowly moving to meet, or I guess going this way since Mercury is retrograde right now, to meet the Sun, and later the Moon will be joining on the 10th for the what are the words I'm looking for that total solar, or not total solar, but annual solar eclipse in Gemini, which is going to be very powerful. I highly suggest that you guys check out that video if you have not seen it yet. I do apologize for all of the commercials. There were a lot more than I thought, and so I've really figured out how to tailor that and taper that back, because I'm not trying to have you guys overwhelmed with that kind of thing. However, there is sort of an energy where YouTube is beginning the first steps of deciding when they want to monetize channels, and so I decided that I wanted to be the one to do that first. And yeah, you know, it's a little bit of extra possible abundance. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's viewer experience. It was just a decision that I made that seemed to be like the right one at the time, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do that in a way that's not interrupting the experience. And so I'm working with it. I appreciate everyone's patience with that process as I go through trying to figure out how to do all of that. So I've adjusted that video for anyone who might have tried to watch that and was like, I think somebody commented and said there was something like 16 commercials, and I was like, oh my God, that's terrible. So I went in and I fixed it and adjusted that for you guys. But definitely check that out, because this is really powerful energy that we're working with. And if you haven't checked it out yet, check the Eclipse Season 2021 video as well. Those will be under Astrological Ascension Energies. There's a playlist if you go to the playlist tab where all of those astrological types of videos are listed. Okay, and we are doing that new moon manifesting ceremony. So the information for that is in the description box below. That's one that I do with a few other people. It's a collaborative effort. We have a really great time, and we are definitely, as I said, working with some powerful energies. The plan is to get the 6/6 portal video done after this one today, so that you guys will have that as well. All right, so let's get into the cards here. Yeah, we'll pull some Mystical Shaman Oracle cards. Why not? Clear. All right. What guidance do we have for today, June 4th, 2021? And I'm going to do the 6/6 portal video. Oh wait, there probably will be a reading tomorrow. I have some fun stuff going on this weekend. I have two beautiful souls that I know who are getting married tomorrow. So I have a wedding to go to tomorrow, and then I have a baby shower for two of my dear friends, actually, who are bringing a beautiful starseed baby into this world. And so we are celebrating that and just celebrating camaraderie and kinship and friendship and creation, right? The miracle of creation together on Sunday. So the 6/6 portal video will probably also be the daily reading, just out a little bit early so that you guys have a little preparation for that energy. I know it's close to the wire here, but it is what it is. All right, so we got the owl coming out. And then we also, I'll see if I'm feeling these. So we have the owl. So this is all about wisdom. So this goes very much in line with that yellow human energy. And I'm feeling this is an energy that's really telling us to pay attention to the experiences that we're having right now, because they are teaching us anything that's going on in your life right now is not a coincidence. It's not an accident. So really pay attention. Pay attention to those signs. Pay attention to those synchronicities. The birds keep coming up as a spirit guide, right? And so the birds are speaking to us. Just, there's tons of signs and synchronicities around you that are trying to help guide you, and for some of us, help us to make sense of some of the stuff that's going on that seems nonsensical. But this is a reminder that it's not. There is deep wisdom and learning to be gained from the experiences you're going through. So pay attention to those. Pay attention to your surroundings. And get that whole vision, that whole perspective, right? The owl turns his head 360 degrees, I do believe. And so, like, that's a powerful, or is it 180? I don't know. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But you know what I mean. He has an incredible range of motion to his neck. And so he can see a lot, and he has night vision. And so it's really about looking intently at what's around you, paying close attention, because there are signs, there are synchronicities, there are lessons to be learned, and there is much to be gained from really taking in all of the information available to you, really fully understanding a situation before you jump into it, or before you make any judgment calls around it. And remember, this is Mercury retrograde, so that's extra important. And the employment of the wisdom, right? Yeah. And I'm going to take these. So we have the Sweat Lodge. We have the Ghost Dance. And we have the Drum. And so this feels very much to me like what we are being urged to do right now is to purify, right? And I think that energy came through in the yellow human description, right? Purifying our physical vessels, releasing, purging, right? The Sweat Lodge is a place where you go to release. You sweat it all out. And so that's what we're being called to do right now. We're being called to, this card is about shadow work. So it's about really plunging into the depths of ourselves, where those hidden gems lie. And look, there's a bird flying up here too, just randomly. And for some reason in my mind, I thought a hawk. So yeah, this is about traveling into the unknown, traveling into the darkness, releasing, healing. And then we have the Ghost Dance. And this to me feels very ancestral. I feel like there are, especially with the drum here too, so this is very ritualistic. This is also a cleansing and a moving of energy, right? Shamans use drumming. They use rattles, they use feathers, they use drums in order to move and affect energy and in ritual. And so it's this, like, some of you may be called to do a ritual for your ancestors. Either a ritual to honor your ancestors, a ritual to bring healing to your ancestors, to connect with your ancestors, to connect with lost parts of ourselves too. I feel like many of us were shamans, or we were part of these tribal cultures in our past lives. And so there's energy of that that's wanting to come back to us. And so we can bring, I feel almost like some people watching this are being guided to do a soul retrieval through drumming. A soul retrieval through drumming, and you may, like, part of this process too may include the sweat lodge or some type of purification or releasing that you do first. And then you're being called to do like any type of ritual drumming. Get into that meditative state. Drumming induces a state of altered consciousness. That's part of why it's utilized in these shamanic type ceremonies, right? And so when we listen to, and when we play the drum or we listen to the beat of the drum, it also mirrors the beat of our hearts, right? And it's just, the sound of it is so powerful, and it takes us places. It helps us to journey. So you may be being called to journey back to a part of yourself, to journey back to your ancestors, in order to either reclaim an aspect of your soul or to learn and receive a message that your ancestors have for you. And that could be a deeper meaning too with the owl energy. There could be, especially if you guys are specifically seeing owls or hawks or any kind of bird, your ancestors could have a powerful message for you. And then the taming the wind is about smudging. It's about cleansing and clearing as well. So a lot of that energy, a lot of that clearing energy, we're being asked to really take special care to cleanse and clear ourselves right now. Any final cards that want to come out here? That's a lot of cards right there. What were they? The Seer, the Beloved, and the Council. Well, I do like that because that's all about our sight. That's all about our intuition. That's all about the support that we have in the unseen realms and being strong in that heart center, right? The Beloved is living love and experiencing love also in our outer reality. Yeah, I feel like kind of part of what wanted to come through for that too was like somebody's beloved has a message for them. And so that could be a passed on loved one. That could be like a twin flame or a soulmate. That could be somebody that you haven't met in this lifetime yet. Somebody from a past life who's been trying to connect with you energetically. But somebody has a message for you. And that's why also meditation, journeying, these different things are going to be so important right now. But it's also your guide and your teams and any of these passed on loved ones or any of these people in the in-between, I'm feeling like. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know if that means people who are kind of standing with one foot in each realm right now. People who are actually ghosts or spirits. I don't know. But there's so many energies that want to connect with us right now. And this does lead into the 6/6 portal energy that we're about to read into too, because it feels like there's a ton of support coming through for us during that portal. But that's also the Galactic Federation or the Galactic Council and all of our guides and angels reminding us that we are love, reminding us to choose love. Reminding us that when we give love, we receive more love. And when we allow ourselves to receive love, we have more love to give. And just to continue to come from that open-hearted place. And just that we are loved, that they love us so much. So a lot of messages actually from those cards that we skipped. And then we have the Arrow and Thunder coming out. So that's really interesting energy right there. This is all about focused intention, hitting your mark, manifesting, creating. And the thunder, this feels like an omen, is sort of what this feels like. But sometimes when we talk about omens, there's like a connotation to it that they're a bad thing. This doesn't feel necessarily like that. This feels like a good omen. This feels like us knowing and feeling and sensing that our blessings are on their way, that our manifestations are on their way. And this is spirit confirming that that's true. It's like what happens when there's a storm oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes you hear the thunder first. Sometimes before it even starts to rain. And absolutely before you see the lightning. Right? And the lightning, what is lightning? Lightning is illumination. It's activation. And so we can feel the illuminations. We can feel the activations coming. We can feel that we've aimed that arrow. We've released the bow. We don't see it flying anymore. It's gone. It's going. But we know, we can feel that it's about to hit its target, even if it hasn't manifested yet. And so that's what that energy is. And once again, this is also like, pay attention to the warnings, pay attention to the signs, pay attention to the synchronicities. Yeah, I feel like your ancestors for some people, and also like your beloveds, like we were talking about earlier, they're trying to, so I guess this does go in with the omen in a way too. They're trying to warn you. They're trying to, it's like you're choosing a path or you're going in a certain direction, and they're trying to warn you and they're trying to steer you the way that's the most beneficial for you to go. And so pay attention to those signs and pay attention to the warnings, to the red flags, depending on where you're at in your journey and what the specifics of your situation are. It's like we want to pay attention to both, right? The synchronicities show us the flow and where it is that we want to go. The red flags and the omens and the warnings show us where we don't, right? Or where we're sure to meet with stormier seas if we do. And so it's also like they're trying to show you, okay, this is the way toward your desire and what it is that you've manifested. This is the way this is the way you wanted the arrow to go, and this is what you need to do in order to be in line with that. And this is the way you do, that will not be beneficial, that isn't going to lead you towards that. And with the Time Master on the bottom of the deck, what I'm feeling here is divine timing. Really trusting in divine timing. But this is also a reminder for us that we can't affect our divine timing, right? Everything happens. Divine timing means everything happens, yes, when everything lines up perfectly and synchronistically. But it also means things happen when we're ready and when we are the energetic match for them. And so if we ignore the warnings, if we ignore the omens, right? We can lengthen our journey. We can lengthen the amount of time it takes to get where we're trying to go. Right? And so we shift our divine timing that way. Because the divine timing for what we want can only come in when we're aligned to it, when we're a match for it. Right? The arrow also to me represents alignment. And so what are you aligning yourself to? And remember, through your choices, through those free will choices. But remember, the opposite is also true. If we decide to purify, right, to really connect to the messages, the messengers that want to come in through us, to pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities, to do that inner work, to allow ourselves to be led by love. And we put in that extra effort towards continuing to grow and evolve, we can shift our divine timing and sort of speed it up in a sense too. So it's all up to you. You are the time master. You get to decide what that timing is for your life by the free will choices that you make. Yeah. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how today is going for you, how this reading resonated, how you're doing. I love hearing from you guys. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And my email is down below with a description of the different services I offer. Please reach out to me if you would like any personal assistance, if you would like a personal reading, an energy healing, a theta healing session, any of the different things that I do. I would love to do those for you. All right. So much love, so much appreciation. Have a beautiful, beautiful Friday.